And now it's time for Top of the Class. This Need to Know series introduces viewers to exceptional high school students working to make a difference in their schools and our community. These are all students who are described by peers and teachers as leaders who don't seek attention, but rather ways to serve. The young man you're about to meet seems to be the epitome of smarts and service. Here's what the Webster Schrader High School community had to say about recent graduate Dalton Pumputis.
That wasn't bad. Dalton is one of the most genuine guys I know. He genuinely cares about people and wants to know how they're doing.
He's kind of the face of the school. He's someone that everyone can turn to a friend, and he makes everyone feel involved and a part of this community.
I think he's a unique personality in the fact that he's very self-driven. And what I know about him is that he kind of lives to serve. Most high school athletes have a me attitude, right? So it's all about me. Dalton upends that, and he is all about we before me.
I know when Dalton raises his hand that something good is going to come out of his mouth. And people are going to learn from it, or a great discussion will get going.
He would be a leader by actions. He can lead discussions in the classroom, or he can lead a team down the field playing football.
For an underclassman looking up to him, I hope they have them as a role model, because he's somebody, to be honest, that I kind of look up to.
Think about all the amazing things we are going to be doing in the coming months and years.
He is literally seizing the day. Carpe diem is what he's doing with his life. He is going to do some really big things. He's going to be a kid to watch in the future.
Whatever you decide to do, go for it.
2017 Webster Schrader graduate Dalton Pumputis, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here.
Great to be here, thank you.
So Dalton, this series is really about making a focused effort to get to know what matters most, rather, to young people in our community. So that being said, there's one question that I ask all the students who appear for the Top of the Class series and are featured, and I'll pose it to you. What are some of the social issues that are of most importance to you, and why?
I think for me, the biggest thing is I see too many people who don't have confidence in themselves in today's community, in our world, and that bothers me a little bit, just because if you're not self-motivated, then you're not going to be able to do anything, because it's nice to have others to tell you you're good at something, or tell you you can do this and you can do that, and that support is always good, but you have to believe in yourself first. And that's why I believe that with hard work, determination, anybody can achieve their dreams. And I know it sounds cliche, follow your dreams, but I think that's the way to a successful and happy life.
Well, you are very loved you're a graduate at your former school community, and the words leader and role model were used to describe you by just about everyone that we spoke with. Your assistant football coach, Dan Sepka, he said you live to serve, and you kind of have this whole we before me mentality. And he said that's incredibly rare for a high school student in our society. So where does that come from? What is it? What are some of the values that are important to you that really allow you, or kind of support you in living that way?
I think the biggest value, as I mentioned before, is hard work. My parents raised me up. All my values that I have are from them, for sure. They raised me up, along with my 4 younger siblings, to work hard and earn everything that we get. With a family of 5 kids, it's a big family, so everybody has to have responsibility, and I think that's helped me a lot. My upbringing with them is a huge part of it, but also I know he is my football coach, so it's funny that he mentioned that, but in a game like football with 11 kids on the field, everyone has to do their part in order for the team to succeed, and I learned that more from football than any other sport I ever played growing up, and it really kind of shaped who I was on the field.
Well, I want to give some background information on you for our viewers. As you mentioned, you are the oldest of 5. You're very active, I hear, in the lives of your siblings. You were involved in a number of sports at school. You work at BJ's Wholesale Club. In fact, you were there prior to this taping, so we thank you for making time for us. You for Little League. You're a Eucharist minister for your parish, and you volunteer with the Student Unified basketball team. And I want to focus on that last activity for a moment. Why was that important for you to do, to be involved with the Unified basketball team?
Well, my mom actually works for Mary Curriola Children's Center, so she's been working with handicapped kids and kids with disabilities for over 10 years now. And I've seen how happy they make her just to be able to work with them and take care of them. It really does put a smile on your face. So when I got together with my friends Jack and Chris and we decided, you know what, there weren't many kids from Schrader that helped out with unified basketball the previous year. It was mostly Thomas students. So we wanted to try to bring change about in our school and get more people from Schrader involved. And then once we did, it was just, we knew we made the right decision. It was by far the best part of our day, every single day. Going to practice, going to the games, it was always a good time.
Well, you're one of your best friends, Jack Kehoe. He told me that you want to be an architecture major, and there's one specific thing that he said that you hope to do in the future, and that's to design athletic stadiums. But he said there's a purpose behind that, and I wanted to ask you about that. He said you are all about bringing people together through sports, and is that kind of what's fueling this passion?
Yeah, a little bit. I played sports all growing up. I played baseball. I started playing baseball when I was 5 years old. I played soccer for a while, basketball for years, football, and then eventually golf my last 2 years of high school. So sports has been a huge part of my life, and I always thought that I wanted to go into something with sports. And then when I found that architecture was right for me, it was cool to know that there's another way we can still incorporate sports into that. And if I don't end up designing sports stadiums, that's fine, but it would be super cool to try to go and mix in sports with whatever I end up doing.
Absolutely. What do you think it is about sports that kind of has the ability to be a bridge builder and to create a sense of community?
I think just the team mentality. You know, everybody helping each other, trying to the we before me mentality. That's something, like I said, I learned in football, but it's true in every sport. You look at the most successful teams, and it's those that have the best chemistry. And I think that is true in the real world too. You need to be able to work with people, cooperate, and you can two minds are better than one. So if you can think together, and you can be a lot more successful.
I should mention you are co-leader for Warrior Crew for your school, and you won the annual Battle of the Fans contest this year and last. And this is all about generating support for teams that are playing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I just want to know, before we lose you here and we have to close, you delivered the graduation speech. We got to see a little bit of that in the video piece. What advice did you give to your peers, and what advice would you give to young people watching this program in terms of kind of making the most of your high school experience and tapping into that hard work that you mentioned?
I would say for anybody who wants to get a good experience out of high school, the biggest thing is just creating relationships, because it's not about what you do all the time in high school, it's about who you meet. And there's certain people that you'll meet, whether it be students or teachers, that could create a friendship that'll last a lifetime. And I know there's people in my life that I can turn to whenever I need help, and they'll be there for me. And same for them, I have their backs. And that's really cool to have, just those relationships that are formed and are so tight that you know they'll never break. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Well, you are headed to Clemson in August, and we wish you the very, very best. And we're out of time for now, but a huge thank you to my guest for Need to Know's Top of the Class series, Dalton Pamputis. And no doubt we will be hearing much more about you, as your assistant football coach said, in the near future.